Right, guys, very excited to announce that tickets are on sale now for Some Laugh Live. We are back in Glasgow at the Stand Comedy Club on the 15th of December, doing a live pod for the first time in ages. Myself, Stu, and Steve will all be on stage alongside some amazing guests. And this night is sponsored by our friends at White Mackay. Thank you very much to them. And I believe they've got some wee surprises or wee treats in store for the people who will be in attendance. Now, we hopefully will see you there. Obviously, part of the Christmas festivities. It'll be that time of Christmas night and that type of thing. So, save the date of the 15th for the live show. If you are on Patreon, you'll already know about this because, as ever, First Dibs always go to our patrons. And if you haven't signed up already, you can get access for as little as £3 a month to First Dibs on tickets for events like this, as well as an extra episode every 2 weeks, which consists of myself, Stevie and Stu, shooting the shit, chewing the fat, that type of thing. If that's the kind of thing that you like from the pod, there's more of that over on the Patreon, as well as all the previous live shows. We've filmed them all, some great footage from them, and behind the scenes content, that type of thing. We also have Some Laugh merch on sale if you would like to show your support when you turn up to the live show on the 15th of December. Why not get a wee Some Laugh t-shirt, a hat, a hoodie, that type of thing. Even the mugs are on sale again finally. So if you would like to do that, get a wee treat for yourself or a Some Laugh listener that you know and love. They are available on the description below, and you do actually get a discount if you are a patron as well, so that's an added incentive for you. But that's all for now, guys. Hopefully see you at the live show on the 15th of December, and aside from that, enjoy today's episode. Welcome to the Some Laugh podcast.
It could be like, oh, that was Some Laugh, or there was just some laughs.
Well, no promising all laugh.
No, there's going to be some.
It's Some Laugh.
The thing is, the deep fried Mars bar is actually pretty good. It gets a bad press, but it's pretty tasty.
I've never had one.
I like it.
Never had the. I always think every year, right, because at the Fringe there's in Edinburgh there's a chippy at the grass market that advertises outside. We did it, and every year I go, at the end of the Fringe I'm going to get one of them. There's like a wee treat. It's like some people walk up half a seat
to connect with your heritage.
Yes.
As Robert the Bruce had a deep fried Mars bar.
Probably, if you walking up half a seat would probably still not burn off the calories of a deep fried Mars bar. But I always think I've been, but I've never done it, and I don't know. I don't like the idea of it really.
I've only had one. I got the local chip shop to deliver it. One single
delivery deep
that guy. That's a low point for that guy delivering it.
I don't, well, he said, you know, it's going to be 50p delivery charge, and I was like, fine, fine, and do it.
Did you give him a tip?
I don't think we did. We were about 12, so.
Fuck's sake.
I don't think we did give him a tip.
50p, you were feeling flush that day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I didn't want my mum finding out, so I said, I'll meet you at the edge of the corner of the street.
Like you're picking up drugs.
It's like dial-a-booze, but it's fucking deep fried Mars.
Is that right? Get in the car. I'll drive you around the block. Yeah.
Stephen, you better not be there and get a deep fried Mars bar.
People queuing up to a guy in a like North Face jacket on a bike. Buying deep fried Mars bars, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Say a quarter ounce, mate.
Yeah.
Much for a half ounce.
Oh, come on, mate. At least half a Twix.
But there is the thing that I have had quite a lot that's deep fried. That's, I don't know if it's just a Scottish thing, but we call it a pizza crunch.
Okay, this is the deep fried pizza, which actually I've never had. I have had the deep fried Mars bar.
But there is a deep fried pizza and also a battered pizza as well. Two different things.
Oh, interesting. So there's no, on the regular deep fried pizza, there's no batter.
Yeah.
It's just deep fried.
Just
right. I would call it the pizza crunch is
pizza
the battered
crunch
one.
Is the battered
the
one.
battered one.
I feel like it wouldn't be very good not batter because you just get the oils just really like soaking into the sauce and the.
Yeah, but also the battered one does retain all the oil as well, so it's just really it's dense bread. It's horrible.
It can't even like
Gillian McKeith's not recommending it.
There would be like I'd love to show that to like some sort of celebrity nutritionist or whatever. They must just hold their head in disgust at like, but it's amazing. My mate used to get it my mate he was the best footballer in a year, and he got a pizza crunch every day for lunch.
And now where is he? Is he playing
That's like when
football?
those like 100-year-old people say what their secret is, and it's like, yeah, well, I have a cigarette every day, and I never get angry. And it's like,
No, I unfortunately never made it past pro youth.
Yeah.
But it's funny though, my sister is a nutritionist, and she generally had somebody say they'd had a heart attack and then did smoke, and we're like, well, it's never done me any harm.
that's good stuff.
That's crazy. What's it like? Because you're an Essex boy, Milo.
I am indeed.
What's the kind of local? Is there a sort of like signature sort of
Dish.
signature? What's
Essex
Essex
dish.
cuisine? That's all I know. Other than just
Fake tan and Dubai chocolate.
other than just that guy that eats Chinese all the time and says Bosh.
Yeah, God, a grim Chinese is a very Essex tradition. That's got to be a strong contender.
A lot of markets, a lot of greengrocers.
There is, I guess actually that's
Steve
probably
knows everything about it from Mickey Flanagan's material.
And EastEnders as well.
people are always out with milk. It's that kind of like Cockney stuff. So I guess like pie and mash and fish and chips and pie and mash is probably the most Essex thing you're gonna get. But it's not really like. No, the thing about Essex culture is it's very like vibes based. There's not much to actually grab onto beyond having a quiff and a Range Rover. It's like once you start getting into it, it's just like the whole of the southeast of England is just like that.
Just materialism personified.
Yeah. Well, this is my big theory is that like Essex cops a lot of shit, but the whole of the south of England is basically the same.
Yeah.
And like, is that you go to Hertfordshire and they're horrified at the idea of being associated with Essex, and it's like, cunt, this is the same. Like, I've been to. There's a town near where I grew up in Essex in Harlow, and there's a town really nearby called Bishop Stortford, which is technically in Hertfordshire, but I don't know what the hell happened. It's like on this like promontory of Hertfordshire that like juts out into Essex, so it's like surrounded by Essex on all sides, and the people there are like, it's like the fucking Shankill Road of being from Hertfordshire. Like they are militant that they're from Hertfordshire. And you go there and you're like, this is no different. Like I remember once they were building an Aldi in Bishop Stortford, and Bishop Stortford has a Waitrose, which Harlow does not.
Right.
And they were like doing like a planning thing, like a consultation. The local paper went around and they were asking people what they thought of the fact they were building an Aldi. This was probably about 15 years ago. And then someone said, honestly, it's a disgrace. Soon we'll be no better than Harlow.
Wow. That's interesting, right? Because like, so Mulgai is quite a kind of posh bit of Glasgow, and there's a Waitrose there, but then they've got like a
Aldi right
a B&M
next door.
or an Aldi or something like that right next to it, and you're like, I think that's quite, because obviously there's
Mulgai is like that though. Like you'll have a massive house, and then like 3 minutes down the road you'll have
Aye.
like really dodgy.
and then there's of course the sort of the phenomenon of Spam Valley.
Spam Valley.
Yes, do you know about? Do you know what this is? Well, so this is what people would say about. Well, when I was growing up, like, you know, they would say that about people that had like a bought house, the Wimpy homes, Barrett homes, whatever,
Right, okay,
versus like a council house, and they go, because you can't afford, you've bought a house, so you can't afford anything else, so you need to eat spam.
Right.
Therefore,
Right,
that's Spam
okay.
Valley, because they think they're.
There's a lot of moving parts in that bit. It's quite complicated.
I know.
Yeah.
I've made it more complicated sounding in it.
So yeah, they want to appear more wealthy, so they've put all their money into buying the house, and
then-
they can't afford anything.
So they need to eat spam.
Again,
So you think
spam
you're
from
fucking
Waitrose.
better than me? You're eating spam. Just because you're in a big fucking house. You know what I mean?
I'm high on the hog eating a deep fried pizza. Thank you very much.
So, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, but it's you know, it's jumping a few logical points, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, but I kind of get that. I get that.
I'm sure it was probably at some point it was a phenomenon. I would imagine that it was like people, and I mean, it's not as if people still only buying things that they can't afford, like houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I get.
Well, now
it.
no one can afford a
No
house,
one
so
can
it's
afford
quite
things.
egalitarian.
And yet people are still buying them,
yeah.
and for offers over, etc.
And no one's eating spam.
No one's eating spam.
Oh yeah, because you have that mad system in Scotland, like the sealed bids or whatever. So if you're buying a house, you have to like guess how much you should
Yeah,
pay.
yeah.
Aye, which is
that
that
different?
it's only a Scottish thing, is it?
Yeah.
Well, how do you do it?
In England, yeah, you just make an offer and then they accept it or they don't. But it's like they will tell you if they've got like another offer, they'll tell you what it is. Like it's
Right.
not. But here it feels like it's this kind of.
It's a secret.
Yeah, I don't know. It's strange in that sort of superficially it seems like it's supposed to be fair, but in reality it seems like it's actually just extorting people for money.
Yeah,
Like-
it's-
Yeah, well, I'm literally buying a house currently. I've just
Right.
sold my flat, and it was like that. We had 3 offers, and you couldn't tell them what it was, but you'd be like, it's a bit more than that. Let's just say. And then they'll go, all right.
Let's just say those guys are going to be in spam if they win.
Oh, I'm going to say stock up on spam.
Leaving like 3 tins of spam on the kitchen counter when you hand the keys over.
It's a wee present for you, some spam.
Yeah.
But that was basically it, and we sold it for quite a bit over what the home report value was
There you go.
because of that system. So,
Great stuff, yeah.
So it's benefiting me
And then presumably immediately then got fucked over by the same system when you were
Yeah.
buying your new house.
big time.
So no one's losing out except from first time buyers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we had to do as well.
There you go.
Yeah, so it only really benefits people who are downsizing, the old cunts who benefit from
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no. What a shock.
There was an old couple who came and they said, and they were downsizing, and they thought I was from the estate agency, so they were being very blunt about
Your
everything.
some laugh liveried Mini Cooper letting you down once again.
Well, I was wearing like joggies and like this hoodie or this fleece, and I was
It's a
like,
bit well dressed for an estate agent.
and they were like, "Oh yeah, this is far too small for us," and I was like, "Well, it does us well, we quite like it." And they're like, "Oh, you own the place," and they were really taken aback when we said that.
Yeah.
So, have you ever had to try and sell a house? It's like
No, I mean my
people
parents.
peering into your soul.
Yeah, my parents sold a house when I was like 11, but I don't really remember much. I remember I was quite anti it, so I was like kept away from.
Yeah, you don't want to move when you're a kid.
yeah,
Sure
yeah,
is.
yeah,
I
exactly.
moved when I was like 10 as well, and like, it's a big deal. We're literally
Moved
round
from-
the corner, but until much nice house. But no, it's a weird one, that, isn't it? Like, I always remember, I just think it'd have been dead hard when you were a kid to have moved like to a totally different area and have to move school and all this kind of shit.
Yeah, I think we moved when I was like 4 or 5, and we moved from Scotstoun to Kilpatrick, and we
yeah.
thought it was the countryside. So we
Yeah,
were like,
okay, now it's compared to
but
that.
it's still not the countryside.
no,
but
really.
It's like
near, it's
15
right next
minutes away.
next to the countryside.
Yeah, it's next to a hill.
Next to the countryside. What a description. Adjacent
It's
to.
next to a hill, but I don't think that's the
There's
countryside.
some sheep and shit like that a bit.
It's as close
You
as
show
we're
me a
gonna get.
picture of that hill and tell me it's not the countryside.
I
innit?
think you might have a gift for estate agents. Beautiful aspects here. A couple of sheep over there.
Well, we all need to make ends meet their own way. Well, but I suppose
Side of a hill.
the housing crisis is one of the many issues with this country at the moment. Now, Milo, you're a very cultured man.
Oh God, allegedly.
Host of several podcasts. That I would say, is it fair to say, cover culture of Britain generally? Would you say?
Yeah, I've sort of unwittingly through my career become a student of this country.
Yeah.
And attempted to dissect the vibes.
And could you tell us a wee bit more? So where are we at the moment in your view in terms of the vibes of the UK, and where does it go? Because it doesn't seem like it's going in a good direction.
It doesn't seem like it's going well politically, but I think the vibes are sort of like there's this sort of like weird tension between like this kind of like sort of like fundamental like cheekiness of the British character and
Yes.
this kind of like incipient fascism that seems to be like kind of riding on the. I mean, we did an episode recently where we talked about what we're terming the 2 Bosh-men.
Yes, well, that I was.
Yeah.
That's why I brought that up, because
Yeah.
I'd listened to a bit of that, and I was curious to hear your take on
What's
that.
the guy?
So this
Skinner?
is it
Tom
Thomas
Skinner.
Skinner?
Yeah.
Is the kind of West Ham cheeky chappy guy? Was it the guy who's on Strictly?
The Apprentice.
The
Yeah,
Apprentice,
yeah,
etc.
exactly.
And then
Honestly, The
there's-
Apprentice has such a high strike rate for producing like British
Unbelievable.
fascists. It's-
Yeah.
Hopkins.
Yeah.
Not to mention the American version.
Well, as ever, the Americans have to go one better. Don't they? Yeah. Bigger, glossier. Yeah,
Yeah, we've not got a prime minister out of it yet.
We have the best fascists. Okay, our version of The Apprentice produced more fascists than any other.
Just to do a brief aside on that, see if you were to get a celebrity prime minister in the UK, who'd you? I honestly think Judge Rinder could be it. That would be who my money would be on. But who do you think would like be a feasible?
He's got some dodgy opinions, isn't he, Judge Rinder?
Exactly.
Yeah. Right, sorry. Yeah, I'm with you now. I'm just trying to. I'm entering my sort of mind palace of minor British celebrities here. I think
Ryland, maybe? Because
Well, he did come out.
Well, him and Rinder are like busy mates.
they're
They could be,
travelling.
PM and Exchequer.
They could be the Cameron and Clegg of 2020s. Bye.
Danny Dyer would be my
That- I mean,
celebrity.
yeah,
He could bring this nation together.
Yeah, exactly.
I think.
We're
Bye.
going to divide people into salts and slags. It's that simple.
So carry on.
You've got Skinner, who is he's a phenomenal like myth maker. Like he's still like, I mean, he's been voted off Strictly Come Dancing now, but while he was on Strictly Come Dancing, he was like, "It's 4 a.m, I'm in Dino's cafe, we're going out on a van delivering mattresses," and it's like, you can't possibly be. How can you? How are you finding time to do sort of like menial delivery work while being a full-time like social media celebrity? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
That's probably the old people thought when they were in your house. Why are you a real estate agent as well? Why are you the podcast?
Gotta pay the bills. That could be a
gotta do it
branding
somewhere.
opportunity, sponsored by your real estate agency. And then he's been like flirting with the reform lot and whatever. He's not quite nailed his colours to the mast, but he keeps doing this sort of like, we're proud to be English, abash. Yeah. And then you've got Big John, who
I'm not as familiar with this guy. So who's he?
Big John is
he on
like
anything?
he's less of a like media creature. So my understanding is his son is like a quite famous boxer.
Right.
He's like a kind of, but the thing is about the son is he's not that good of a boxer. Like he's a professional boxer, but he wasn't particularly going anywhere, but he's like amazing at self-promotion. And because boxing is so like theatre driven, I think he got picked up by the Hearns. And then they via that, they were like, oh, this guy's dad's a bit of a character.
Yeah.
And so between the son and like his managers, they've kind of basically just turned the camera on his dad and just be like, you just do what you do, which is be a big fat guy who eats Chinese and says bosh. But then sort of gradually, I mean, it started off early days, like he would literally just order, it would be like a phone call of him talking to the Chinese and he's listing off like a phenomenal list of like, it's like enough Chinese for like 30 people. And then it's just him eating it with his family. Which
does not look out of place, I would say. Not to shame Big John, but he does.
No.
If there's anyone who looks like he could eat a Chinese for 30 people, it's
It's
him.
Big John.
Yeah.
The most, I mean, and not to body shame Big John, but there's no shape to his legs whatsoever. They look like Donna Spitz.
Aye.
Like they taper slightly into his shoes, but there's no like discernible ankle or like.
Right.
But then gradually he's sort of like. I think because there's an assumption among people who are really right wing that someone like that would also be really right wing.
Yeah.
He's sort of been forced into this position of being sort of like kind of. I mean, he's just at the end of the day, he's just a normal man, so he's going to have some mad opinions. But like, he is sort of increasingly like not racist, just love Chinese. Like, you know, a bit weird to be racist, really, mate. You know, what are you doing that for? And so he's sort of increasingly he's going further and further down the path of like all out war with the sort of like the right wing Twitter people.
I seen he tweeted, it might have been like today or something, and he said he was going to vote reform as a protest vote against the other two, but not now. And it was like, he was quote tweeting something presumably racist or whatever the fuck the reform people. Just he's found out what they stand for at all. And he's like, I'm not voting for them. I was going to do this as a protest when I wasn't paying any attention to anything that's happened in the last 15 years.
If only more people would discover what they actually stand for.
Exactly.
Even more amusingly, he referred to Labour and the Tories as the big two.
Yeah.
Making it sound like he's supporting Partick Thistle. You know? He likes an underdog, just Big John.
Well, actually, not to the, but Hearts are actually the reform of Scottish football at the moment, top of the league, and
top
looking
of the
like
league.
Oh.
they're looking good for a run at the title. I would say that, but
okay.
that's by the by. Anyway,
Yeah.
You don't want to be called the reform of Scottish football.
No.
It's like you're being called the reform of, and you're like, how could this get any worse? And then Scottish football comes screeching around
Derek
the corner.
McInnes is Nigel Farage. We'll leave it at that. But anyway,
In terms of like, apart from obviously the immigration stuff and that, what are like reform's main policies?
bring back smoking in pubs.
Really?
That's
Is
what
it-
Farage,
is
Farage used
actually-
to want to do that though, didn't he, when he was at UKIP?
I think it is on the list of things. I think it is genuinely.
Is it?
And it's
They
like,
might as well bring back leaded petrol.
far be it from me to defend Nigel Farage on any issue, but bringing back smoking in pubs would be like stop clocks, you know.
There was also, I heard that they were going to reduce like stamp duty on houses and stuff the like money. So
Yeah.
and I'm buying a house, so that's like I'm like this guy's.
Well,
got
it's too
something.
late.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah,
too late
yeah.
by the time you do it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, fuck him.
It's sort of a mad assemblage of things to reform platform.
Aye, it's just like
Yeah.
even their candidates at local council and stuff. It just looks like everybody's mental auntie or uncle.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
everybody's
yeah, yeah.
unhinged and are coming together. And now it seems like there's more of them than there is the rest of the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because they seem to have done this fascinating thing where, like, the reform guys, they believe their own propaganda, which I think is quite dangerous. I mean, they say never get high on your own supply, but like, so they've taken over some of these councils in England, and then they've gone in and they've been like, well, we're just going to solve all the council's problems by cutting out all of this waste spending on woke stuff. And it's like, guys, you don't actually think that was going on, do you?
And then, do you see what happened the other day? They actually they announced a tax rise because they went, it turns out there's none of that waste. And because
It's all just social care.
a lassie I know works for one of the councils, and that it is it in Essex? Or,
It was Kent, I think.
It's Kent.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
works
yeah,
for
yeah.
there, and she said
Kent is like Essex, but worse. If
Right.
you want to, yeah.
she said they all came in and none of them had a clue what the fuck they were doing. Like
Yeah.
they were all clueless, and it just shows you there. So there you go. But
Yeah.
aye, so that's it. So through the prism of the Bosh-men, then.
Yeah. So it's a real divide. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know who's more popular out of Skinner and Big John. But I mean, Big John is sort of shaping. I mean, this is how stupid our politics is. Right?
Yeah.
It's like pick your Bosh man,
Yeah.
and you will die under the banner of the Bosh man that you choose. Will it be the big Chinese banner of Big John, or will it be the sort of like mattress and racism banner of Tom Skinner? Like,
Which isn't a bad metaphor for the political options we've got either. To be fair, like, but
yeah,
it's
Which side is more desperate for a leader, the left or the right? That's the big question.
I know, because everything, yeah. And I think you spoke about that on that episode as well. But there was neither side have got MD to really root for that much at the moment, because even though the right wingers, they're not really a big fan. I mean, the fact that Tommy Robinson is so prominent is crazy, considering how much of a fringe figure he's been until pretty recently. And then
I don't know how popular Tommy Robinson is, but he's definitely he's well funded and he's quite he's very visible.
That's it. It was like Andrew Tate as well. It's like you never know how many people are actually into this or whether it's just coming up on everybody's timelines. But I think that then becomes a bit of a self-fulfilling thing where people see it all the time, and then that's like their go-to reference. They go, that guy,
Yeah, Andrew Tate's fascinating because it's just like he's got 14 Lamborghinis, and you're just like, I don't understand the economics of Andrew Tate.
If he was selling mattresses, I wouldn't be surprised.
I suspect, given the allegations, he's probably bought a few.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah.
But I think it's an interesting.
The last that I'd
Interesting
heard
thing.
from Tommy Robinson though, did he not flee because he was going to get arrested and now he's back? Has that just been swept under the rug?
No, he was in jail for a while, but
was
this was but then he's got deported for it. He tried to go on holiday, I don't know, somewhere in the south of Colombia or something like that, and he get deported for there.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. He got deported twice. He went to Colombia and then they deported him. So he went to Panama and then they deported him as well as a threat to national security.
Aye.
Which is quite funny on one level because there's only one nation that he's a threat to the security of, and it is this one. Which is he's better off in Panama. He's not going to do anything in Panama.
Yeah.
He's not going to have Panamanians out on the streets. I got caught up in that Tommy Robinson march in London in September.
Why?
I wasn't joining in. I was trying to get
Just
from.
get carried away.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? Enough's enough. All right, we're gonna.
I just see us St George's flag and something just goes off in my heart.
Football's not on, is it? What's going on?
That is genuinely because there was some saltires up and stuff like that as well, and I was like, "Fucking Scotland playing? What's going on?"
They've started popping up near here as well.
Aye.
Quite
Yeah,
impressive.
that's mad. It's all over. It's funny. There were none in London, and then you drive out into Essex, and it's literally every lamppost.
Aye.
Yeah.
But it only takes 10 guys to go around putting them up.
Aye,
It's
you know.
every lamppost in the town, but it is mental. Anyway, I was a mate of mine's wedding in Vauxhall, and we left, and then we were going across to we were walking to Waterloo or something to get the tube. I can't remember why. And then they were all leave it because the protests had finished in Parliament Square. So they were walking over the bridge and getting the trains because they were all coming from fucking Kent. Yeah. But then I noticed that none of them knew where they were going because obviously they've never been to fucking London, so they were all glued to their phone, confused. Everyone's pissed, drinking tins of Carling. Honestly, it was negative SponCom for Carling, the amount of cans of Carling on display. And then I was walking with a mate of mine. And then I looked at him and I went, look at these fucking cunts. And just as this happened, there happened to be, and I hadn't seen them, there was just this like Chinese couple just walking the other way. And she just went, Milo. And I was like, I'm looking at them. I now realise in the context how that I was very much looking at the guys in the George Cross flag.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll clip that up, Milo. Put that out. That'll be your apology.
Yeah, exactly.
It's out of context, you know. Right, it's interesting to see where it all goes. I'm also I'm fascinated by where it's going to go with AI as well. I don't know what your take on all this is. Have you seen these Sora 2 videos of like it's like Tupac and the wrestling and stuff like that? And
What?
Have you seen any of this?
Tupac and wrestling. I mean, I get served a lot of AI slop here and there.
Yeah.
But I try not to get too involved. But yeah, go on.
Because you know that one, it's like the Sora 2 it's called, and it's like...
I've heard of that, yeah.
And so like you can make, it's like very short, but they can make them quite realistic. Have you seen any of these?
Yeah, I've seen them.
And it's like they do like, it's like Tupac, but he's like in the wrestling and he's like caught, and then Biggie Smalls comes out. They do ones and it's like JFK versus fucking Abraham Lincoln and all this sort of shit.
Yeah.
It's great, and they do Stephen Hawking and
JFK versus Abraham.
it's great. No, it's great. They literally do that as what, and it's like the stuff's just fucking absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And it's like it's pretty realistic.
Is the concept behind JFK and Abraham Lincoln like which president who was shot in the head is harder than the other one?
Well, I think there's actually more. There's a lot of Reagan versus JFK. You see,
okay.
and then there's like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just who's got the better hair. Maybe that one is. But it's
yeah.
like it's just obviously it shows you a lot of the people that are making these things where their interests lie, because obviously they've centered a lot of it around what if these it's like Martin Luther King and the WWE and all this kind of shit.
Sort of epic rap battles of history.
Yeah.
Martin
That
Luther
vibe.
King in the WWE.
Yeah, because there is where he goes like, if it goes, I am the dream, and then everyone's like, boo! That's the whole video. It's crazy. But
There's so many Americans who just dream of a scenario in which they can boo Martin Luther King. I think that's really I always find that so funny about the American far right, that they're always like trying to be like, it's like people who like defend the Confederacy in the Civil War, and they're always trying to argue that it's not about slavery, and it's like, yeah, but at a certain point, it's a bit like denying the Holocaust or anything else. It's like, well, if your team is that bad that you can't admit to any of the stuff they were actually doing, like you're not really committed to the, stand on it. Be I liked slavery. That's why we did that. That's at least a respectable position.
Well, I mean, it's it's a
Maybe respectable is the wrong word.
Yeah.
It's at least a coherent position.
You're standing up for your principles, rather than just hiding behind some sort of wee get out, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah. States' rights. Right to do what?
Exactly. But it's I don't know. It's fucking, and then because apparently it uses like however many gallons of water to make these fucking videos.
Yeah.
And what's the thing with chat? If you ask ChatGPT a question, it's like, there's a certain amount of water. It's like so much more, electricity, or whatever, than it would take to just ask Google. So suddenly everybody's been coming.
And I don't understand it, because if you ask, I mean, Google now also has all this AI shit.
Yeah.
But like generally speaking, if you ask Google a question, like so many people I've met are asking ChatGPT like just questions that you could just Google before and get a more reliably correct answer.
Yeah.
But they're like, people are very I think this is something we've talked a bit about on the podcast, is like obviously there's like, all of these like big business interests like boosting this AI stuff, because like,
And do you think it's a bit of a bubble, do you think it is as well?
well, it doesn't do any of the stuff that they say it's going to do. I think it seems even the AI industry now is like rowing stuff back. Like they're kind of being like, well, maybe, profit margins, let's see. Like, there's a lot of computer stuff being used here.
Right.
And it seems like it's a huge amount of the economy in terms of like the notional GDP.
There was something like it was only the GDP in Britain had grown by 0.1% if you didn't include AI stuff, or maybe
or like data centers. And I think it's kind of the same in the US. Like their GDP is being massively inflated by this stuff that's kind of not really real. Like it's sort of like money's changing hands, but like there's not really any actual like productivity.
Aye, which was kind of what was happening with crypto and stuff like that as well, or the
Yeah,
NFTs and all that shit.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
like this sort of fake thing that everyone has put money into.
And I think it's telling that we had crypto, and then we had NFTs, and then we had crypto for a bit again. Then the arse fell out of that, and then since then we've had AI, and it's like all the same people are obsessed with it and think it's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels as though like it's not really going to do what they say it's going to do, and I think it's probably going to crater. But I expect it won't like disappear entirely in the same way that like crypto hasn't disappeared entirely.
No, because it can do stuff. Like,
Yeah.
It's good for stuff like, I don't know, subtitling Instagram videos
Yeah.
or whatever, like stuff like that. But
Yeah, we got it to design our living room.
Did you?
Yeah. Just like, give us a modern take on this new living
there's a
room.
chair with like 5 legs. It's,
Yeah, like a hand chair. It
yeah,
was-
a huge pair of tits on the wall.
It just creates pure Austin Powers.
yeah, very
That's
70s
interesting.
vibe.
But was it good?
It was all right, to be fair, but it was, yeah, it's still like they've moved a door over to the fucking side. It's stuff that you can't actually physically do. Like
Aye.
they've moved the front door over to the side of the house, and you're like, well, how can you?
I'm fascinated that you've employed AI here because I feel like designing a living room is quite an easy task. It's basically like, where's the sofa going? Where's the telly going?
Well, we wanted ideas for what it could. I'm not good at. I'm not an interior designer. I wanted,
You're an estate agent.
Yeah, exactly. So I wanted ideas, but yeah, but you feel a bit dirty when you do it, though.
Aye. Do you know the first thing I ever put into ChatGPT?
Okay.
Write a rap song about the Irish potato famine.
Was
And
it
it was
good?
pretty
What is
fucking
that?
good.
Is it
And
just
then I think I got it to do
a
it in the
kneecap
and I got it to do it in the style pretty much. But I got it to do it in the style of Tupac and 50 Cent and Eminem and all that, and it was like it's pretty good. I think I've got it on the computer. I'll try and get it later on. For struggling for content.
We'll do a dramatic reading of the Irish potato famine rap song.
I don't know why that was in my head. I was just like, I wonder if it would do this. Just and then it did. I was like, fucking hell.
It's a new AI video. Ian Paisley versus Jerry Adams. WWE.
I think I did actually Google. I did search to see if there was any Jerry Adams ones yet, but I don't think anyone's made them. But it's
Jerry Adams denies ever fighting the Undertaker.
just have Jerry Adams finally admitting to being in the IRA. I was in it all along.
Yeah.
Allegedly, I'm not saying he's a very litigious man.
Allegedly.
Obviously had nothing to do with it. Anyway,
Yeah.
And obviously, litigation is the worst thing you could fear from Jerry Adams.
well, these days it is.
Yeah. I always enjoy whenever that deep fried screenshot of that old tweet comes up about Jerry Adams talking about how long it takes him to turn off all of his Christmas lights, and then someone replied and said, "Jerry, surely you of all people know someone who can rig up a timer." It's just a great bit of banter, that, you know. You love to see it.
Who's that
Yeah.
hurting?
That's real Britain.
Yeah.
Even if Jerry Adams doesn't want to admit it, he's part of it.
Well, I had actually a funny thing happened to me when I was doing a show in Belfast. I had a real laugh in Belfast, and I was doing.
You were there just before or after I was there in the
Yeah,
summer.
it was
wasn't
like a week or two before or something. Yeah.
Where did you do there again?
I was at the American Bar,
Oh, right, aye.
which was nice. It was quite small, but it was a nice venue. But yeah,
That's where they used to get all their rifles sent to.
well, I think it was coming from.
From
That was a sort of staging post. But yeah, I'd been to the Shankill Road that day, so I did a
Yeah.
bit at the top about like how mental it is, and then I was, and then
They were
I
ahead
said,
of the game in terms of flags.
yeah. Fucking hell, they
time,
really
yeah.
were. Yeah, it's sort of its derivative, really. What's happening in Essex? What I said about the Shankill Road was I'd never seen threatening bunting before.
Why?
Like,
Yeah.
if you'd been like teleported there and you knew nothing about the context, you'd think you were going to expect like sort of VE Day tea and cake with the vicar or something.
Aye.
Yeah.
It's like Royal Wootton Bassett or something like that, but it's
Yeah. And all the mad like display boards of like Tony Blair and stuff, and it's like blood on his hands, and it has like a list of all like the crimes. They were like kind of like faded in the sun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was talking about that, and then I said something about it, and I said I slipped up and I said no other street in Britain, and then there was like this like and I was like look, on the Shankill Road it's Britain. I'm like, you can go and ask him.
I mean, you can't.
And thankfully
deny-
they did laugh. Yeah.
There's arguably no more British street in Britain.
It's an exclave. Yeah, they feel
exactly.
very passionately about it. Yeah. On the Falls Road, you might get a different opinion.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I had a great time in Northern Ireland. Did you have fun?
Yeah, I loved it because I was I went for all my Irish dates. I took the car and went in the ferry, so I drove about, and so I spent a good bit of time in Belfast. And I actually, Paddy McDonnell, who's the comic over there, he took us in the car and drove us around and was doing his tour guide thing for us. And I learned loads of stuff, and I was listening to Say Nothing on audiobook while I was doing the whole drive. So like I learned a lot about Irish history that I thought I knew a wee bit about. It turns out I didn't know a lot, but so you're getting the whole thing. But then you're like listening to stuff about Belfast being bombed everywhere in the 70s and 80s, and then I'm walking the streets going like, it's not still happening, is it? But it was crazy. But no, I loved it, man, and the crowds are great there. I think in Belfast, I really enjoyed it. So
yeah, a lot of fun.
Very fun.
It's a cool place.
Very fun.
Yeah, and remarkably actually chill. It has such a sort of like stereotypically bad reputation, but I found everyone there was like super nice.
No, it's so nice. It was great. And the woman in the hotel, I was in the Premier Inn, and I walked in and. Can't remember what it was.
Flashing your cash there, Jennings. We're like,
well,
this is the glamorous life of a stand-up comedian.
That's it. Well, but they basically just offered to do my washing. I think I was just coming in dead flustered and I'd been carrying all my stuff. I maybe dropped something or it was raining. I can't remember. But they just looked at me and went, "We'll do you." It was like I had like 3 mums for Belfast just going, right, we'll sort you out, son, and they done it. It was great.
Yeah, they didn't even work at the Premier.
They didn't even work there.
Staying there.
No, it was good.
We stayed in a hotel and like obviously you don't know what side they're going to be on, like Catholic or Protestant, and then we went into the hotel room and it was God Save the Queen was playing on the radio when we walked in.
Oh,
we were
wow.
like, fucking hell. And then it was called the Fitzwilliam, so we're like, maybe that's something to do with. It's probably Protestant.
God Save the Queen on the radio.
Yeah, it was on Classic FM or something, but they were playing a rendition of it.
Yeah, it's an old song now. They've changed the lyrics.
Oh, this was a good 2 years ago.
That's never gonna go back for me. That's like how my mum used to still talk about like shillings and bob and stuff. It's always gonna be God Save.
I know that's going to be such a because we're never having a queen again in our lifetime, probably not.
No,
and like that's going to be such a sign. It's like my high school, like just after I left, changed its name, and it was oh, but when I was there, it's called this, and it's like it's just the oldest thing you can possibly say now, isn't it? It's like, oh, it used to be God Save the Queen.
Yeah. Just imagining the reasons also why a high school in Glasgow might have to change its name.
Yeah, but that's right. Yeah. God Save the Queen High School.
King Billy's High School. Yeah, fuck it hell.
So you think the AI thing then, where do you see it going?
I don't. I mean, predictions a mug's game, isn't it? But yes. I think it's probably going to be. There's going to be some rapid downward revising of the economic prospects of AI because it doesn't really. There's like some things that it's quite good at, like writing. Well, a lot of the things that it's good at are things which are probably bullshit anyway. Like it's good at writing like SEO text, for example. Aye. But like SEO text is a thing that only exists because of the way that the internet works. It's not like text that's ever designed to be read by a person.
I know. Well, because it's funny, like that search engine optimization, because I'd always meant to look into that so as it could like boost your fucking YouTube videos or whatever. But it just always seemed like such a lot of shite to me, really.
Yeah, there are tools that will do it for you but then I actually had a call with someone about SEO for a YouTube channel. And this is real inside baseball shit. It was a guy who was trying to flog me this product. But then all the example videos were like guys in India like who were doing like tutorials on how to like, you know, fucking optimize your I don't know, whatever. Like, you know, like
we've spoke about this before. One of the main things on YouTube is people like say when I was like getting stuff to build this studio. Like most of the videos that people made that had the right equipment were about how to like set it up. It's all like meta videos about how to do this. About this.
In a gold brush sell picks and shovels. Yeah,
they're not actually making any content about it other than the setup they've got. Or whatever.
We're the mugs. We should be selling podcasting equipment to other people.
I know.
This is the.
Mate, see if we had these in affiliate links for these fucking mics, and we'd make a fortune by now, man.
Yeah. You should be charging this out as SponCon.
Well, I mean, you can buy mugs.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. I've got one of these mugs at home. It serves me well. But yeah, there's like, and then the guy was like giving me advice, and he was coming up with alternative titles for Glue Factory episodes, and he was like, "What about this episode is like how to do this?" And then it's like, then the proposed description was all like, you know, the Glue Factory cast explain how you can, and I'm like, yeah, but that's not remotely related to anything that's in there. And he's like, well, people come to YouTube to learn, and I'm like, well, they're not going to learn anything on this fucking channel. Let me tell you. If that's the case, we might as well quit now.
No, that's the thing, because it's like what, right? So the best case scenario, you're mis-selling people something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Oh, you'll never believe this, and then there's nothing about that.
I can actually believe it. I'm able to believe it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's I was stuff like that, and I do wonder if like, because see if it is able to take away a lot of jobs, so that's just going to like, I don't know if it will or it won't, but like it's just going to make things a lot harder, isn't it? In terms of it's already people, you know, fucking a lot of things are precarious. We talked about fucking houses being more expensive, and then if AI comes along and takes away like even a percentage of the jobs that people do, and it's like cunts going to be fucked.
Yeah, and also it's going to make everything shit. Because it's like now, even now when you're like, you know, you can't get through to a person if you have like a problem with like a service or whatever, and then they're just going to use AI to just get rid of all of it.
Totally.
Yeah, it's not good.
I know.
It's not great.
Do you ever use ChatGPT for anything?
I think I might have used it maybe like once or twice when someone was like, "Oh, you should do this incredibly specific thing that it's good for." But like, I don't like. Yeah, I know people who like, yeah, they literally just use it instead of Google and they use it all day long.
Yeah,
I've heard people who have email jobs say like, "Oh, I don't even write emails anymore. I just do it all through ChatGPT." And I'm like, you're literally like getting rid of your own job.
I know.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy to me. And like I've heard somebody say like the thing is like it's replacing a lot of stuff that is easy. Like how hard is it to send an email?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like to write stuff like that, like send messages and all that. It's stuff that we can do anyway. But the thing is, you're right about people like doing themselves at their own job. Because like during the Fringe, I was asking the crowd every day. I was all surprised at how many people use it.
Yeah,
Like fucking every cunt's using it. And then when
Yeah,
I, would
I feel
ask-
like proper old because
Yeah.
I'm not using it, and I'm shocked at how many people are. Yeah.
It was kind of like it's sort of like. Do you remember when TikTok first came in and like everyone's like, "Oh, it's China spying on you," and for ages I didn't have it, and then I got it because
you're very paranoid about Chinese.
no, but I was just like, well, I'm not going. You know, what I mean, I don't know. Like it's the same way that you don't get, you know, stuff. It was like remember
the
when,
tendrils of Xi Jinping will not make it to Clyde. There's a line in the sand being drawn.
But remember when everyone done that mad face app thing with it made you old?
The Russians.
And then it was like the Russians own this and they've got your fucking camera roll or whatever the fuck it was.
Your
Well,
face app old, and they're like, yes, normal 26-year-old man.
But then, so it was the same. And then I remember I got TikTok because my ex was watching a video of Nigel and I'm like, I fucking know him. And then I've seen it like a million views. And then it was like they were sponsoring the shirts on Soccer Aid. I'm like, this isn't going away anytime soon. So, I was
then
like,
you got it.
I got it, and look at me now.
For a second, I thought you meant Uncle Roger was sponsoring half-time show.
You fucking might as well be.
Yeah, when's the link up between him and Big John?
Yeah.
To Spanish.
I tell you what, if Big John was eating the stuff at fucking Uncle Roger's, couldn't he be a lot fucking less fat?
Yeah, that is true. Well, he is supposedly trying to lose weight now, Big John.
Is he?
Yeah, he's on some kind of diet and exercise regime. But unfortunately, his job does involve eating huge quantities of Chinese.
That's a tough. How the fuck does he put that into My Fitness Pal? Portion 30. Does he not have 30? It's still 10 or something.
My fitness enemy.
Yeah, him and Joe Wicks, man, that's an interesting combo.
Yeah, I downloaded Joe Wick's app. You know, his mad shit app.
He's got an app like Matt Hancock.
Yeah, he's got like an app for that. Like, you know, it gives you recipes and it gives you an exercise plan and all that. We got a free trial for it, and it was bad.
Are you trying to get fit?
Yeah,
Oh,
basically.
come with me. Oh, we're
This
going
is
to do
day
jumping
one.
jacks in the garden.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
Ever had broccoli and chicken? Yeah, that's what I eat every meal.
Chuck that in the microwave for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
And then do some jumping jacks.
Joe
Bosh.
Wicks is actually possibly the most Essex man.
Aye.
In terms of the pure, because there's like Essex men, it's like it's so masculine, but also so camp at the same time.
Yeah.
Like there's that real, and it's the same way with like David Beckham. I feel like was the pioneer of that. It was the proto Essex man.
Yeah.
And sort of when he became like a sex symbol, they had to like make him speak different.
Yeah.
Because it was always like, yeah, the boys done well, you know, didn't they?
And some PR person was like, "Sort it out, David. You're in your pants on a Calvin Klein advert. You can't be talking like that."
Because they've not like the Essex is. I wonder is it unfair? Because like obviously Beckham back in the day, the big joke about him was it was thick, and then you had Joey Essex, of course, and it's like there's a
Yeah, Joey Essex. No one was joking about him.
No.
It was more of a diagnosis.
but there's like a sort of there's a diagnosis of thickness towards the Essex people, but I don't know whether that's and maybe it's because the difference is right. There's also a sort of that you're maybe saying how you're saying about the whole of the South is kind of a bit like that. There's a
Yeah.
sort of southern ignorance blended in with being thick down there. That it's like somebody that in the north, it would be a different type of sort of like person that you'd get in the north that's equivalent
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Essex.
yeah.
But there's just that you can just sort of be thick and rich there.
Yeah, it's interesting in some ways. I feel like somewhere like Essex or a lot of the southeast of England, it's almost like a perfect diametrical opposite of Glasgow in the sense that like there's like nice bits and rough bits. But I always say that the thing that I have come away most with from my impressions of Glasgow is that Glasgow is a place that is like reflexively cultured because it would piss off the English. Like there's like an element of like the English don't expect us to read a book or put on a play, so we're gonna fucking put on 10 of the cunts. Like there's like that. Whereas Essex is like the opposite. It's like we're proud of being stupid, and it's like it would be gay to put on a play or to read a book. And so even the people who are reading books or whatever, they do it kind of in secret because it's like
Well, Glasgow does just have like a really like, you know, it's got a long history of like, you know, great writers and people that are interested in the arts, and there's a really good music scene and like scene for all these kind of things, and it is there, and it's like I guess it's maybe just more a thing of like, you know, cause it's a working class place, people maybe through the outside wouldn't expect it, but it has got a lot, you know, there's a lot of really interesting people and like
yeah, it feels like there's quite a lot of civic pride in it.
Aye, no,
Yeah.
well, I would say so, and like it's I don't know, it's just one of those things that's like, you know, maybe if it's due to historic things or whatever, but there's certain places in England that you could compare it to, but like, or you think you could compare it to, but actually we've got a wee bit.
It gets compared to Liverpool quite a lot. doesn't
Yeah,
Yeah.
in which
don't
we
know
would
if
take
that-
Well,
exception to.
I don't know. I think you're giving the Scousers too much credit there. I don't know how much flack am I going to come under for this. The Scousers have a lot of civic pride, but I wouldn't describe it as being in anything particularly intellectual. It's a civic pride based around something.
The
for
Beatles, maybe.
sure. Beatles, maybe mostly the football team.
Mainly the football team.
And sort of hating the sun, but then that's mostly to do with the football team.
Because they share a lot of the political opinions. The reason I actually just said that was what annoyed me. There's this UFC fighter called Paddy Pimlet, and
What a name, first of all.
yeah, and he's like a big scouse guy, and he bigs it up about all that stuff.
Oh yeah, what's
And
his
then-
nickname? Paddy
the Baddie.
The Baddie. Yeah.
And but
He's got a huge
I remember him
arse.
coming out.
He's tempting people on Instagram.
But I remember him coming out and saying some anti-immigrant thing or whatever, and I was like, but he definitely at some point would be one of those guys that's like, fucking don't read the Sun. And it's like, all right, you don't read the Sun, but you have all the same political opinions, is it? Right,
I
fine.
don't think he was like coming from Paddy the Baddie. I don't think he was politically. I thought he was kind of.
Well, he isn't, but
progressive.
just in the same way, fucking every. You know what I mean? It's like you're fucking Tom Skinner or whatever. It's just like it's
Yeah.
not fucking know any better. But I don't know. Just like, yeah, it's.
I think the
But
combination.
there's
of-
obviously, I would say, to be fair to Liverpool, there's a long history of socialist.
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
of,
yeah. It's definitely
values
quite a
and
sort
all
of
that sort of
trade
stuff.
union city and
Absolutely,
what have you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not somewhere that I've. But yeah, that strikes me about Glasgow. I think in England, like places that are like very sort of like wear like being cultured on their sleeve, they tend to be like wealthy places.
Aye, exactly.
And
aye.
like that's kind of, and it's very like a working like there's a and I think this is pervasive across all levels of English society certainly, where like reflexively anything that's like cultured or academic is considered inherently posh. And so it's almost like an act of being a class traitor to like engage in anything like that if you're not posh. So I know I've encountered people before like on like, you know, who claim to be socialists saying that like Latin shouldn't be taught in state schools because it's posh. And it's like, but what's so you're saying working class people are thick and they shouldn't know anything? It doesn't really strike me as left wing of an opinion as you think it is.
That's true. However, I would argue that Latin being learned at all is fucking pointless.
Look, listen, it's like, look, you come over here, you speak Latin, or fuck off, all right?
I know.
Since 41 AD, this has been a Latin-speaking country.
Aye, but it's like, you know, I mean, obviously, like culture's changed a lot in maybe recent years and whatever. But I think this, and it probably isn't just Glasgow. There's a lot of places like, you know, probably in the world. I guess it's like, yeah, just it might be a historically working class place, but there's a lot of well informed people. There's a lot of people that are into the arts and culture and reading and all this kind of stuff. And like, it's like, you know, I guess that's why it's like you shouldn't just pigeonhole things. Do you know what I mean? Like. And I think sometimes for the outside, Glasgow gets a bit of that, whereas I've always felt it's been a bit more interesting than it sort of gets.
But I think we
perceived.
also have that thing where we're like kind of proud of, oh, it's quite rough, so we kind of get off on that. We're like, oh yeah, and I think that maybe we probably don't do ourselves a lot of favors in some cases.
but
we're
I
like,
would
"Oh,
say
yeah."
as well, like up until probably recent decades, it was fucking rough.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
different now because the whole world is different,
Mm.
and it's obviously a lot nicer. Like I talk about that on stage now, but like people finally realising Glasgow's actually quite safe.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
that fucking things up. But it's like, but like obviously fucking back in like back when like, our parents were born, probably like the centre of Glasgow and our surrounding areas, they were probably fucked. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot. I
yeah.
mean, in some ways they were better off because every cunt worked in the shipyard still or whatever the fuck. But
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, a lot of ways it was pretty sketchy as well, in places that are now pretty nice.
You could make good money as a mugger in Glasgow back in the day. They've ruined it now.
I know, contactless payments, you know, it's like cashless societies.
Well, it was the same in like London. I remember when I was a teenager, like Hackney was constantly in the news as being like people getting stabbed and whatever. And now it's like, yeah, mate, it's kind of like an Asian style sandwich. It's going to be 13 quid. Like,
Yeah.
Is that good for you, Chief? Yeah, great. Just be a couple of minutes if that's all right. Like that's kind of. And it's so funny that now is like the peak of like people going like, oh, you can't go to that London, you'll get stabbed. And it's like you've never been less likely to get stabbed in London than you are in the year of our Lord 2025.
Yeah.
Like, unless you join a county lines gang, I think you're pretty safe.
But I suppose it's just gentrification, isn't it? Which goes back to what we were talking about at the start, with house prices and all of that.
Yeah, mixed results. And here we are gentrifying Clydebank.
Look at that. It's crazy.
There's one a wee plaque one day. It'd be like, this is where some laugh.
This is where Milo was assassinated by the Scouse IRA for his comments.
I don't know who else can we piss off.
Yeah. I mean, no disrespect to the city of Liverpool.
Do you know who can
but-
fuck off? The Cornish? No. It's just my because of fucking Tamsin.
I was on something on the radio with a comedian, actually an Essex guy who'd been down in Cornwall, and he'd done some joke off the top about like Cornish independence because he was under the impression that was so silly.
It
that
does
they
sound
would
like a
find it funny.
parody of,
and
like-
apparently like it really kicked off. Like he like
Aye.
properly bombed, and then like two people tried to fight him in the car park about
aye.
it.
Really?
No, they take that seriously, but it's like the sort of thing, like, it does sound like a sort of parody of like Scottish independence or something like that, or the Cornish one as well. It's like that old thing about Paul McCartney being dead. Like I remember when I first seen that, and I was like, surely this is like a parody of conspiracy theories. But some people were right in it, and it's the same with Cornish
The
independence.
leader of the Cornish Independence Party was found with a huge pasty on her lawn that she couldn't explain how it had got there. She had no knowledge of how her husband had paid for it.
There's a lot of crops in Cornwall, probably. I don't know. But
Yeah. I don't know. It's sort of like I find those kind of things quite funny where you're just like, well, I get that you're passionate about it and like there is a culture in Cornwall or whatever, but also like, come on, guys, like take a step back and look at this from a sort of zoomed out perspective. Like, how on earth do you think that's going to work?
well, the thing is, it's interesting is that like the Scottish elections are next year, so there's a chance that Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland could all have pro-independence parties soon.
Yeah.
And then, how do you think England would fare if they're just fucking on their own? I mean, probably they'd notice, would they? But
Well, I mean, God knows. I mean, it's quite a worrying state of affairs. But I think there's a lot of people on like the far right in England who kind of almost see that as like a desirable outcome. But that's because they know it's to their like political advantage.
well, it did cross my mind. I was like, see if the SNP and Reform get the most votes in the Scottish elections next year, maybe they could have a pro-Indie coalition, but for different reasons. But we weren't rid of the fucking Scottish. We were like, yeah, we'll leave.
I'm going to be the first refugee into Scotland. When that happens, that's going to be me. Yeah, I think that's my position as a left wing English person. I'm like, please don't leave us locked in there with them.
I know,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. I mean, Northern Ireland will go. I reckon.
Do you think so?
Well, it will
Not if the
either.
people in Shankill Road are to do it.
The Shankill Road will stay. It'll be like Lesotho, just like in the middle
It's
of
like Gibraltar or something.
Yeah,
It's own wee island, like.
border control all around the edge.
I know.
Well, I guess it'll either go or it will become so devolved that will be like tantamount to it going.
Aye.
Like there will be some even greater level of like merging with the Republic to the point where it'll be like the difference will be almost unnoticeable, but enough of it being notionally British for like people not to start a civil war. I noticed when you drive over the border, it doesn't say anything about the UK. It just says you're now entering Northern Ireland.
Yeah, and actually, when I left Derry to go to Donegal when I was there, and that is Kneecap have put in some of their stuff. That was one of the signs that Northern is just scrubbed it, and it says you're now entering Ireland. But also, what I thought was like, the main thing that you notice really when you like go over the border is obviously like when I was driving the sat nav, it changes from miles to kilometres.
Oh, right.
That's like it, and the road signs
yeah.
change a wee bit. That's
Yeah, the aesthetics change a little bit.
I would say that's about
Currency.
the Republic. Shite our service stations. Say what you like about Britain, but it's got the best fucking service stations in the world.
The service
You
stations.
think?
In my
are good.
opinion. Well, I've never been to any other countries really.
America.
The driving.
I've been in some Australian ones.
They've got a well-being cafe as well, like us.
Yeah,
That's a real head fuck.
yeah. The
What, Australia do?
Aye.
You can't imagine with their love of coffee that they're big fans of the Wild Bean Cafe.
Well, I was like, it was right. There was one right round for where I was staying in Perth, and I'm like, I feel like I'm at home.
Bacon and cheese turbo.
Yes, I was getting petrol. I didn't even have motor.
God Save the Queen was playing when you walked in.
But
On the radio.
I don't know. But I wonder, have you been to any American? I guess they call them truck stops, do they?
Stops, yeah.
Oh,
That does
good.
sound less-
Diners. A diner would be good.
There's
probably.
something very Blairite about the word service station, isn't
Do you
there?
think so?
Whereas, yeah, there's something quite like clean and modern and municipal about it. Whereas truck stop really like gives you the image of dogging. Ironically, given that it's an American term and phrase. Yeah, I think though I've done so many long drives around the States, but I don't think they have anything that I would describe as a service station.
So what do they
They've
have?
got like. They'll have like a petrol station, and then there'll be like a restaurant or a diner or something.
Aye.
But like you
But
know,
they're
here
separate,
they're
aren't
like
they?
complexes, aren't they? Where it'll be like there'll be
Right.
like a fucking I don't know a Pret and a McDonald's and a whatever, and it will have
Yeah,
like it'll be
yeah,
like
yeah.
one like unified concourse, and then there'll also be. Whereas in the US, it's more like you know like when you drive up and down the A1. And there'll be like a petrol station, and then there'll be like some mad fucking imitation 50s diner, and then
Aye.
that's just it.
Yeah,
They're kind of
yeah,
like that in the States more. They're like smaller, but there's a lot of them.
It's a bit derelict.
Yeah,
Yeah.
little chef.
Yeah, God, I remember we drove from
Little Chef
Salt
dropped
Lake
the ball, didn't
City
they, by the way?
to Reno, and it's like northern Nevada, and it's like we've driven through southern Utah, which kind of looks like the moon. Sorry, the southern Utah looks like Mars, and then the north of Utah looks like the moon. It's all like salt flats. So you get into Nevada, and it's just like meth.
Aye.
It's like every sign has bullet holes in it. It's all that shit from like the movies, like 200 miles next gas, like that kind of shit.
Fucking hell.
I remember we pulled up in this town. We were in this like McDonald's, and then like everyone in there was wearing camouflage, and the manager of the McDonald's had no teeth. And then they'd just brought in those self-order kiosks. It was like 2018.
Yeah.
And then like. And she was like going like, y'all ever used these before? These are crazy. And we were like, yeah, we're from London.
Yeah, it's just an
I've
iPad.
seen this before. Yeah, it's a big iPad.
I've seen an iPad before.
The average toddler would be very comfortable with this technology.
Do you know what though? Because I hadn't been to McDonald's in years. Right? I just never went for a while.
Yeah.
And then I went back, and that was when they'd brought in the screen. So I'm still not that comfortable with the screen.
on,
I still
Jennings.
instinctively want to go. I mean, I can use the screen. Obviously, I've done it now on many occasions.
Sit
But I
in or
just feel
take
like
away,
I
what?
still feel. I wish you. Maybe you can
Bring
just-
out the clown. Where's Ronald? Where's the hamburger?
It's my fucking. It's my
That
birthday.
big purple blob can't get him out.
Him and Donald Trump done a McDonald's advert together once.
Purple blob.
Grimace.
Grimace. did
Aye.
Mm.
Yeah. You must have seen that.
Yeah, I have. And also the
And they hug
advert.
each other at the end.
him and Melania did an advert for Pizza Hut
That's
where
right.
they talk about eating the pizza crust first, and it's honestly one of the most perverted things I've ever seen in my life. It makes no sense.
Yeah, why?
Do you know, I went to the pictures then. I went to the one in Clydebank for the first time in years.
I've heard it's been done up. Is it good?
So it's under refurbishment at the moment because
Okay.
the whole it seemed like it was abandoned, but they had signs up saying like Monday to Thursday were closed or whatever. But they had those screens.
Recliner seats and all that.
That's why I went because I was curious to get recliner seats.
Like business class.
Yeah,
I go
Which-
fully. But when your mum falls asleep in the cinema, which she always will, she can go fully horizontal.
Do you know what? It was good. It was good and comfortable, but they were it was the impression. Do you ever see those like recliner seats or like the kind of vibrating massage chairs that you see in like supermarkets or something.
Oh yeah.
It was that kind of fabric that you're kind of like, ugh, who else has been on this?
Sort of
You know?
That
PVC.
dirty.
Yeah, exactly.
White
But,
clean.
yeah. But also, I put this on my Instagram story, but so each screen, like, it's like screen 1, screen 2, whatever, the same signs that were there in the 90s when we would go as kids, this is still the same signs. And they were the only thing that was left, and everything else is like the walls weren't even painted and shit. So it just felt abandoned.
The nostalgia factor,
Yeah.
though, they want the same.
I did like that, but it was just
It's like grade 1 listed, like they've got to preserve that.
design.
It was
you
as
know?
if
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
the only thing that preserved, and everything else is getting done up, but none of it was done yet. So just it felt as if I'm like, is this actually even open? It just felt abandoned.
Yeah, do you know? Because there was a point where originally it was like there was the kiosk at the front where you would buy your tickets and you'd go up to the next bit
Yeah.
where you get your popcorn, and then they just done away with the kiosk at the front and you just get your tickets at the popcorn bit. And that ever since then, it just the magic was
The magic's
gone.
gone.
I wanted to go to a wee
'Cause
guy to give me a ticket
I always
beforehand.
remember going to that wee kiosk at the front, and we were going to see James Bond. I think this was one of the ones when Pierce Brosnan was still in it, and it was a 12, but this was before 12A's.
Ah,
Well,
right,
came
yeah.
a thing, so it was me and my dad and my cousin or something, and they're like, "How old is he?"
12A,
And
that's sort of the rule on Epstein's Island. Isn't it? They were all accompanied by an adult.
I wasn't allowed to get in because the guy's like, "How old is he?" And they're like 10, and he's like, "No, it's a 12. You can't get in." Fucking
Yeah.
And then 12A came along. I'm like, "Where were you when I needed you?" And I wanted to see Tomorrow Never Dies or whatever the fuck it was.
I got stung
They had
by
that in England, but they hadn't made it.
Go across the border to see Tomorrow Never Dies.
Holyrood was holding that one up.
Fucking, red tape. Yeah, again.
I got stung by that going to see the Scorpion King.
One of the Rock's first big motion pictures, I believe.
Yeah, I think maybe
You wouldn't
one
know,
of.
of course, if you didn't get to see it.
He was in The Mummy Returns as a CGI freak, but it was his face.
As
He
a
mem-
CGI.
Do you remember that? It was like the most.
We got a great role for you, Dwayne. You're going to be the CGI freak.
Have you ever seen The Mummy Returns? It's fucking the.
I think
CGI.
I've only seen the original Mummy.
With Brendan Fraser.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
get
yeah.
a picture of this guy.
I do remember is that was the first one The Rock was in, because I
I
remember
have-
them making a big
yeah.
deal about that in the WWE.
Yeah,
Although
I
I might
have
be
seen the
confusing that with
Scorpion
I
King.
might be
though.
confusing that with a Martin Luther King Sora 2 video.
Can you smell my dream?
That's
Oh, that's
That's nuts.
You could do better with an AI prompt these days.
He sort of looks like they've made Shrek into a guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
That's
crazy.
him in the Mummy
Yeah.
2, Mummy Returns.
Yeah,
Nuts.
I have seen the Scorpion King, and I don't think you missed out on a lot.
Yeah, because I still never seen it actually. Because I was with my cousin who was like 14. And I was like, "Oh, that's my dad," but then they're like, "You're obviously not. You can't get in." So I just never.
Right.
went
You
to
said
see
your
it.
14-year-old cousin was your
It
dad.
was like, "Oh, it's 12." That'd be when he was.
That's the stereotypes that people have in Glasgow that are just untrue.
But it's the perfect Glasgow stereotype because it's a 14-year-old boy with a 12-year-old son, but they're going to experience culture by watching the Scorpion King.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
You think that in Liverpool?
you'd have both had hair rollers in if it was Liverpool.
Right, I think that's probably about covers it for this week's episode.
Thanks for coming back,
Milo
Milo.
Edwards.
Lovely to be here.
Thank you for joining us. Now, I do think we do have time to plug this. Your
Yeah.
upcoming Glasgow tour
Yeah.
show at the Stand on Saturday. Is it the 1st of November?
It's the 1st of November. Yeah, Mark's opening for
I'll be
me.
open
Yeah.
for him.
2 days
Yeah.
before my birthday.
Exciting. So come and pre-lash Stephen's birthday
Yeah.
and
Yes.
prove your cultural credentials with by attending my show. I've been billed by Mark as a cultured man at the start
That's
of the show.
true. He's very cultured.
Very, very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can vote with your feet by more people attending than Liverpool. It won't be a hard task.
What's the figure? We need to
Unlike
be?
the Liverpool show, presumably. Was.
No, it was actually fun. The Liverpool show was
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
We've said a lot about the Scouse on this episode, but fair's fair.
Yeah, they're a good bunch.
A good
I
bunch
like
of
them.
lads.
A good bunch of lads.
Yeah. But yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it.
Great. Yeah, tickets will be available in the description, and hopefully see you there.
What's the show called?
It's called How Revolting, Sorry to Offend.
Lovely.
It's about a time I got a temporary tattoo on my arse.
Nice.
There you go.
There you
And
go.
is that the one
Culture.
that the pictures you putting a petrol It's something up your arse.
I think that's a Sora 2 video. I don't know what you've been typing in, Jennings, in the privacy of your
What's
own
that
home.
poster that you've got? In your...
I've got. It's like I'm wearing like leather trousers, and I'm kind of like exposing a bit of my arse cheek, and there's like a tattoo on it, which is
But
like
alright.
photoshopped on.
For some reason, I
They've
thought
got
you
a
were
petrol pump up his arse.
petrol pump up it.
So, some Scousers have done some very cruel photoshops, implying that I'm in the pocket of the Saudi Arabian lobby.
There you go.
I wish those Riyadh Comedy Festival fees. Oh boy,
No.
yeah.
Well, no time to get into that.
No.
But it's been well covered. But well, yeah, hopefully sees that. My King's Theatre show is still on sale Friday the 20th of March. There will be some live tickets on sale very shortly as well. And yeah, aside from that, thanks a lot for tuning in, guys, and I'll speak to you very soon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers, Milo.
That was a pleasure.